Hey guys, it's Jess. Well, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing this cool looking, in my opinion, green sort of suburban family home. So before we get too far into it, I just want to say that the exterior of this house, I was inspired, aka copied, basically a build that Ziminstead did. So I haven't actually seen the speed build for it. I just noticed as I was scrolling through YouTube a thumbnail with this really awesome house, and it had the green base game siding. I think it's siding, maybe it's sliding. I don't know which one it is. We don't have it here in Australia or where I live. So the green wood panels, and then it had the seasons windows with the white and then like the little black kind of like trimming bits to it. And if you have listened to my voiceovers before, I do mention that I struggle when it comes to exterior wallpaper. It's just something that I don't know, it's struggle town like every single time. So when I saw that thumbnail, I was like, oh my god, that's perfect. I really want to like do a build just like that. So I have linked the video below. It's the only thing from the video that I copied, just the exterior wallpaper and the windows. But again, not my idea, so I need to give credit where credit is due. So check the video out. It'll be amazing because Ziminstead's videos always are. And yeah, actually perfect timing because now we're starting to get in with the green wallpaper. Now the issue that I came across with this is that stupid wallpaper that tries to put like the corner pieces on like the white corner bits, and it tries to do it itself and it fails every single time because it goes by, I think, like the rooms. I don't really know how it works, but I've never really gotten it successfully to work. So I did have to then go around and put the white pillars in everywhere, on every corner basically, because I couldn't rely on the wallpaper to do it for me. And it kind of annoys me because you can see a little bit where the wallpaper peeks through next to the pillar, but there's really like nothing else that you can do. So I hope that at some point they can fix that. I feel like the Sims team have been pretty good at fixing small little bugs like that and everything. Recently I noticed that they added really small lights, which are like amazing for building. So I can hold out hope right now. So yeah, with this build as well, I did it a little bit differently to how I normally do it. I find that when I do a build, I kind of do it all in one, I suppose. So I will go through and I will do all of the walls and get the shape of the house how I want it. Then I do the wallpaper, then I do the windows, then I do the roof. Maybe not like in that order, but I don't move on from like one aspect of the house until I have finished like the previous aspect. Whereas in this build, I kind of did it more by like side. So I did like the front of the house first, and then when I got that how I wanted it, then I moved on and kind of like built a few more walls, did some roofing, did this and that on the other side of the house. So I don't know, I kind of like the way that it turned out, and I think that in a future build or something I might try that different technique. The issue like with that technique where you just kind of like build a shape is that it's really hard to then figure out what to do for a floor plan. You just kind of have to work with it and just, I don't know, I think you just have to see everything as like a potential room or whatever. But yeah, like I think it is a good concept. I really like the way that the house turned out, but it definitely makes it harder to do the floor plan. So often I do floor plans off camera anyway because they usually take a while, but hey, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. So here I'm trying to figure out this side of the house because I didn't want to have like one flat wall and then none of the roofs were working, and it was becoming a little bit difficult. So I do get there in the end where I have kind of like the two bits that poke out. But I kind of thought it looked a bit funny having like two near identical bits poking out. So I add in like a little like balcony area as well, and I feel like that just kind of made it look not quite so similar, if that makes sense. I didn't want it to be perfectly symmetrical on that side of the house, so I like the way that it turned out. And I also used those roof trims, not the roof trims, sorry, like the room trims, which to be honest I don't use a whole lot, so that was fun. For the garden, I kind of did that like white picket fence style where I kind of encased the garden in the white picket fence and then added in like some shrubs so it's not too like white picket fence. It's like a little bit more interesting to the eye, I suppose. And then I put those little trees there because I don't know, I thought it kind of like a cool little like archway entrance. Now, this is another thing. So that white fence that I use pretty much in every single speed build, the only gate it has that matches the white fence is a white and blue gate, and it triggers me every time. So what I have started doing is, if I don't want to have a blue gate, I just kind of like put a diagonal wall fence thing, so it looks like the diagonal bit is the gate and it's just kind of like propped open at all times. So you can kind of see it right now, like it sort of looks like a gate swinging open. Hopefully it doesn't look too stupid, but I like the way it looks. I think it does look pretty realistic. So that's what that's all about. And then I also added in some little like wall vinery, and something I actually noticed, fun fact, there's none of that wall stuff, like the wall vines, as part of the base game pack, which just like a fun, not so fun fact. Because I did the base game build and there was no wall vinery stuff, and I was like, damn it, because I think it really does make a difference to homes. I don't use it enough. It's something that I'm not, I guess, as like confident using, but I will try using it at some point. The other thing that I noticed about this build as well, with the seasons pack, it is really annoying to build when the season is like, when it's a bit foggy outside and you have to like change the season. So I feel like a lot of the start of this build is just slightly dim, like the footage isn't 100% bright. So I have downloaded the MC Command Center to try and change the weather for when I'm doing speed builds. But the other thing as well is I'm thinking about getting one of the, it's called like a shader, so it kind of like changes the colors in the games. And I noticed that a lot of people that do speed builds actually use those shaders, because it kind of just makes the whole thing just, it looks like a lot better. I guess it's the equivalent of like a makeup tutorial with like a blurring filter or whatever they use. I don't know, I ain't no beauty guru, but I'm thinking about doing that. So I don't know if you feel really strongly one way or the other, feel free to let me know. I just thought I'd point it out. Yeah, so we're obviously on the inside of the house now, and I ended up going with like a very what's the word, is it monochromatic? I don't know, I did like a lot of white and grey with just like some soft blue, so just like very neutral, nearly monochrome colours. So it's just a lot of plainness in this house, but I do like the way that it turned out. I don't know how much it necessarily matches with the outside of the house. Originally I was going to do something really different on the inside, because for me the outside exterior of the house was totally different to what I would normally do. It's not like, you know, light blue suburban, it's kind of, yeah, this like kind of really cool tone green colour. So I thought, oh, I should do something different on the inside, but it just kind of didn't work out that way, because I couldn't figure out if I wanted to go with like a dark theme or a light theme. Did I want to go with like really dark wood? Did I want to go like old fashioned? I don't know, I just couldn't figure it out. So I think that when I'm a bit unsure about what to do on the inside of the house, I just revert back to like what I'm used to, which is, you know, like creams, whites, greys, and blues. So that's kind of, I don't know, looking back now, I wish I did something a little bit more interesting, but, you know, it's always another speed build. So, yeah, this little area by the window there annoyed me a bit, because the window wasn't quite center, and I couldn't center things the way that I wanted to, but I ended up just fixing it, and I think that it looked fine. I do change this kitchen area a little bit off camera, because I'm not sure how it happened, but I've noticed sometimes if you like move a wall, sometimes the stairs will move themselves, and I don't know what I moved, but I came back into the house like as I was taking screenshots, and the stairs had like deleted themselves, and half the kitchen had just moved around, and I couldn't get it back to the way that it was. So the screenshots will be slightly different to what you see in the kitchen at the moment. Not too different, just like a little bit different. But it's still like all of this part here where the bench tops are and everything is pretty similar. It's just kind of like the area near the stairs will look a bit different in screenshots. But I prefer how it is on the screenshots, to be honest. So, you know, hopefully you guys do as well. This pack also, I don't know if I mentioned, it doesn't have any particular restrictions on it. It's just got probably a little bit of all the packs. So I try and do like a good mix of like restricted pack builds and just whatever I want, just because I know not everybody has the pack, and like there's nothing worse than seeing, you know, not being able to download something because you don't have the pack or whatever. So yeah, there was also this random space like in the center of the kitchen, so I chose to put a dining table in there, mainly just because I was thinking like, I don't know, maybe the kids might be sitting there and doing their homework while the parent is doing the cooking or something. Yeah, there just wasn't enough space for anything else, so I put a little dining table there. Now, also, it takes me way too long to realize that this dining table is completely off-center with that kind of, like, couch. I don't think that it's particularly functional. Like, I don't think that they will sit on that couch and use the dining table as a dining table, but I thought that it looked really cool. I love that whole, like, kind of bay window with a dining table area in it. I think it looks really like it was built in. So, yeah, it was like a really cool little look, and I only just recently got that pet pack, like the controversial pet pack, so, I just wanted to use some of that furniture as well. What I really wanted to put on this side wall here was a bar, but something I have noticed in The Sims is the bars are really not particularly functional. You need such a big space to use for the bars. I wish that you could have just kind of like a bar that only opens up to one side and it's really slimline, but they don't have that. So I ended up just kind of trying to do my own DIY bar area, which really was just like that little cabinet thing with a fishbowl and a carver bowl. So it's not really a bar at all, but I was going for that. I do end up also changing this around just a little bit. On that right hand wall, it was just, I didn't know what to put there. Like, it looked really bare to me. It just didn't look quite right. So I played around with that photo frame for ages, and then I end up putting in like a big, I think it was a Jungle Adventure, like one of those cabinet things, and it just worked out so much better because it really needed something more than like a painting there, but it had to be like a very particular shape. So this is what I end up putting there with like the paper plates and stuff, which now that I think about it, it's kind of like not tacky, but it's like not the best way to decorate like I think it's called a hutch. I think that's what they're called. But it's The Sims and whatever. So we're still in the downstairs area. This is a room that is like just off the kitchen, and I chose to just make it like a little study room. You could easily turn this back into like a bedroom if you wanted to. But I made this one a little less light colors, and I put in like some slightly darker blues and black as well, because I had that chair at the desk, and I wanted to like tie that darkness of the chair into like the rest of the furniture. So that's kind of what I end up going with. And I love that little cabinet thing as well that I'm using right now. It's so cute. These packs just have like some really good pieces of furniture. It'd be kind of cool if they created like an all-star pack where they got all the best pieces of furniture from all the expansion stuff packs and just released that for people who don't necessarily care about the gameplay but just want all the good furniture. Yeah, that'd be really cool, I reckon. I also just put that scout thing in the corner there because I just couldn't figure out what else to put in there. I was going to put in an easel, but I feel like I always do an easel, so I put that one in there instead. So now we're upstairs and doing the master bedroom. These bedrooms are really hard to do. I find that when there's too many blank walls, it's just really, really, really hard to furnish. I don't know what it is, but it's like there's only so many paintings and tall bookshelves or like tall cabinets that you can have, so you sort of just run out of things to do, and it's like I don't know. I do like the way that it turned out though. I think it did turn out pretty cool. I went to say cute and then said cool. Anyway, it turned out pretty cool. So this room again is more like cream and stuff. I definitely went away from like the super monochromatic color scheme of the downstairs area when I did the bedrooms, but I think that that makes sense because I don't think any house I've ever been into, actually no, I lie, my mum's house has like matching furniture in every single room, like it's all the same color scheme and everything. But for most homes, I feel like, you know, your main living area might be like one particular color scheme, but then the rest of the house changes, so I wasn't too upset about it. So I made this a girl's room, and no particular, like nothing in mind with this one really. I just kind of popped together some furniture. I find it like this is probably suited to like nearly a teenager, I suppose, because it's not super like childlike, I guess. It is, I think, a little bit more probably like a little bit more on the mature side. And I can't remember if I changed that wallpaper. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I honestly don't remember. But I just love that something I will say about kids' furniture is everything matches, and it just makes it so much easier to put things together when things actually match. So this room came together the easiest out of all the bedrooms. Now this one here was so hard because there's that really random blank wall. So what I ended up doing was I actually made this like a twin boys bedroom. So it kind of filled in the space really nicely, and it was such an awkward shaped room. It had all these like long areas. So by putting in the 2 beds, I think it really helped fill up that space. And I kind of was able to make it a bit messy as well. So essentially this is a house for like 3 kids and a mum and dad, but you could also convert that, as I said, the study area, you could make that into a bedroom as well if you wanted to. So yeah, this room probably wasn't my favorite, I'll be honest. But as I said, it was just such a weird shape. The other way that I think you could possibly change this room up a little bit was if you kind of made like half of the room a bathroom. And you know those Jack and Jill bathrooms? So basically you could just like cut off half that bedroom and make it into a bathroom, and the door to the bathroom is accessed via the girls' room and the boys' room, so it's like a shared bathroom. Talking way too much about this shared bathroom, but I think that would work too. It'll just make it like a more of a manageable size to decorate, because it was hard, guys. It was hard. But we are now on the outside of the house. I don't have a whole lot to say about this. It's just like your basic backyard. I've got like the pool and the little garden beds, just like my standard kind of backyard, I suppose. Something else I have noticed in a patch that I never noticed before is when you used to have a foundation and you used to put like plants down, the plants would like rise to the height of the foundation. Now they don't. Now they just like go flush with the house, and I appreciate that change so much, it's not even funny. So that was amazing. Yeah, I'm probably going to go now though. I don't have much to say about the outside of the house. So I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope to catch you all in another video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye everybody.